The Valari once had a world of blue seas and silver forests. Now it was ash. From orbit, Valahome looked like a burned coal in space. The oceans were dark. The clouds were brown. Great scars glowed where impact craters still burned. In the refugee command ship Luminous Drift, High Coordinator Sareth watched the dead world on the main screen. His skin, once bright and patterned, was now faded and dull. Behind him, the bridge was full of whispers. Children cried in the lower decks. Old ones sat in silence, wrapped in gray cloth. "Report," Sareth said, his four thin fingers gripping the rail. A young navigator looked up, her eyes wide. "Last surface shelters are gone," she said. "The Harrow Dominion hit them with orbital lances. No life signs remain." Sareth closed his eyes. Harrow Dominion. An old, brutal empire. They had wanted Valahome's rare metals. They had offered protection in exchange for full control. The Valari refused. Harrow's answer was simple: glass the planet and harvest the rubble. Now only a few 100,000 Valari lived, scattered across ships like Luminous Drift, running, hiding, begging for space in other people's skies. "Any answer from the Council?" Sareth asked. His comm officer shook his head. "Galactic Council acknowledges our situation," he said. "They say their hands are tied. No direct conflict with Harrow. They offer relocation permits in outer sectors. No escorts." Sareth's lip trembled. "Relocation without protection is not shelter," he said softly. "It is a different kind of killing." He looked at the burning world one last time. "Say goodbye," he told his crew. No one spoke. The ship turned away. The Valari tried many worlds. The Threx offered them a strip of desert on a world they used for testing weapons. The Threx demanded half their young as auxiliaries. The Virexi offered them a moon, then raised fees so high they would live forever in debt. The Serene Collective offered them kind words, and nothing else. Everywhere, Sareth heard the same things. "You have no fleet. You have no resources left. Harrow is too strong. We cannot risk war for you." At last, in a back chamber of a small trade station, Sareth met an Ilari diplomat, Lethrin, who looked at him with tired eyes. "There is one more place," Lethrin said. "It is risky. Your people may not like them." Sareth's weak patterns flickered. "Who?" he asked. Lethrin brought up a hollow. "A small blue planet. A yellow star. Local name Earth," Lethrin said. "Species human." Sareth frowned. "I have seen their file," he said. "Young. No great fleets. No ruling seats. Aggressive. Strange." Lethrin nodded. "Yes," he said. "But they do one thing very well: they hate bullies." He locked eyes with Sareth. "Harrow will come for you again," he said. "They always finish the hunt. If you ask Earth for shelter, they will not give you soft pillows and a speech. They will send something else." Sareth hesitated. "What do they ask in return?" he asked. "They are not saints." Lethrin smiled sadly. "No species is," he said. "They will ask for alliance. For access to your star lanes, your remaining knowledge, your loyalty. But if they commit hard." Sareth looked at the tiny blue world. "Humans," he whispered. "Small planet. Small fleet." He thought of Ash. Of children who had no home but cold metal. "Open a channel," he said. "We are out of gentle options." The message was simple. To the people of Earth. We are the Valari. Our world is dead. Our enemy is strong. We have been denied help by those with power. We beg for shelter. Space. Protection. We offer our skills and our lives in return. If you refuse, we understand. If you accept, know that you invite the Harrow Dominion's attention. They sent it into the void, encoded on council nets, tagged with all the right flags. They expected silence. Or pitying words. Or polite refusal. They did not expect the answer they received. 6 hours later, in Luminous Drift's dim bridge, the comm officer sat up straight. "Coordinator," he said. "Response from Earth. High priority. Multiple channels at once." Sareth felt his heart rise and sink at the same time. "Play it," he said. The screen flickered. A human woman appeared, dark hair in a tight bun, uniform neat, eyes tired but sharp. "I am Admiral Elena Ruiz of the United Earth Stellar Command," she said. "We received your message." She didn't say, "We are sorry." She didn't say, "We send thoughts." She said, "We accept." The bridge went silent. Sareth blinked. "You, what?" he whispered. Elena continued. "We cannot move your dead world back into the sky," she said. "We cannot undo the Harrow Dominion's crimes. But we can give you shelter. Real shelter. Charts appeared next to her, star maps, orbit lines, supply webs. "We are dispatching a joint task force," she said. "Commanders, engineers, logistics teams. We will build you a haven in a system we control. You will share defense responsibilities, but we will anchor it." She paused. "You should know," she added, "when we call something a haven, we don't mean a camp. We mean a fortress. A place no one takes without bleeding." Her gaze hardened. "If Harrow follows you," she said, "they will not find prey huddled in the dark. They will find a trap." The message ended. No music. No banners. Just the quiet echo of her words. Sareth felt his throat tighten. "They said yes," the navigator whispered. The comm officer's markings glowed bright for the first time in months. "They did," he said. "They are sending help." Sareth sank slowly into his chair. "Then," he murmured, "may the stars forgive what we have invited down on the Harrow." Earth floated in the black, blue and white and green. Above it, in a ring of steel and shining panels, the Unity Ark station turned slowly. Ships came and went, freighters, patrol craft, research vessels. In the core of Unity Ark, a war room hummed. Admiral Elena Ruiz stood at the center table, surrounded by holodisplays. Beside her hovered Argus, Earth's strategic AI, in the form of a soft blue sphere. Around them sat officers, diplomats, engineers. "You answered fast," one diplomat said. "No council vote. No long talks. You just said yes." Elena's eyes were steady. "They're homeless," she said. "And Harrow is the kind of empire that makes us itch. We don't need a council vote to hate people like that." A logistics officer frowned. "Ma'am, our resources are not endless," he said. "A full haven build is huge. And if Harrow comes..." Elena cut him off. "If Harrow comes," she said, "we stop arguing about budgets and start arguing about angles of attack." Argus pulsed slightly brighter. "I have run scenarios," it said. "If the Harrow Dominion takes full interest in Earth, we are outnumbered." "That's true in every fight we've had in space so far," Elena said. "Surprise, adaptability, and being too crazy to predict are kind of our thing." A younger commander, Maya Darcy, leaned forward. "Harrow is big," she said. "Old tech, heavy fleets, lots of intimidation. But their doctrine is blunt. They conquer broken worlds, not fortified havens. They haven't fought someone who actually plans to punch back hard." Elena nodded. "Exactly," she said. "They expect broken refugees. Not us." She tapped the hollow. "Let's talk about haven design," she said. A star map appeared. Argus highlighted a system near the edge of Earth's growing territory. "Candidate system, Kepler 79G," it said. "Gas giant, several rocky moons, one marginally habitable world. No major routes yet. Easy to defend, hard to stumble upon." Maya squinted at the layout. "We put the Valari on the habitable world?" she asked. "Yes," Elena said. "We help them rebuild a surface culture. Not just live in ships forever." The engineer, Singh, added, "We also build orbital layers. Defense shells. Power rings. Shipyards. Think of it as a mix of city and fortress." Argus brought up designs. "Phase 1, landing and stabilization," it said. "Commanders and builders. Set up atmosphere shields, ground habitats, basic orbital defense." "Phase 2, deep fortification," Maya said. "Underground bunkers, hidden hangars, misdirection fields. Train Valari defense forces. Integrate our systems with theirs." "Phase 3, the diplomat asked. Elena's face was hard. "Silent bombers," she said. The room went quiet. Silent bombers were not public knowledge. They were Earth's answer to a simple fear. What if the enemy's fleet is too big to face head-on? They were long, dark ships built to vanish. No bright drive plumes. No open comms. No easy sensors. Their job was to go where they should not, wait where no one expected, and hit the parts of an enemy that hurt the most. Refineries. Logistics hubs. Command ships. Not planets, not civilians. Nerves and veins. Maya broke the silence. "We send bombers?" she asked. "Isn't that escalatory?" Elena met her gaze. "Harrow burned a world," she said. "They'll come to finish the job. We're not going to wait politely behind a shield and hope they get bored. If they cross a line, we hit back where it costs them, not the Valari." Argus pulsed. "Ethical note," it said. "All targeting will adhere to civilian-safe doctrine. We break war machines, not cities." The diplomat sighed. "So shelter to humans," he said, "means fortify, arm and prepare to counterstrike." "Yes," Elena said simply. We don't build soft targets. We build hedgehogs with nukes. She looked around the table. Any objections? She asked. Some faces were tense. No one spoke. Good, Elena said. Then we move. She touched her earpiece. Argus, she said, send orders. Already in motion, Argus replied. Task Force Haven will depart in 6 hours. Commanders, builders, and the first wave of silent bombers, under full cloak. Elena looked at Earth through the viewport. Let's see what kind of shelter we can be, she murmured. In the Valari fleet, news came like a strong wind. Humans have chosen system Kepler 79G, the comm officer said. They ask us to meet them there. They will escort. Sareth stared at the star map. Escort? He asked. With what? The comm officer checked. A mid-sized human fleet, he said. And several unmarked objects. Sareth frowned. Unmarked. The officer nodded. Their transponders don't broadcast, he said. The humans call them non-existent support. Sareth's patterns flickered in confusion. What does that mean? He asked. No one knew. But very soon the galaxy would learn. Kepler 79G's main world was not pretty. It was a gray-green ball with thick clouds and hard mountains. The air was breathable for Valari with filters, harsh for humans even in armor. But it had water. It had minerals. It had room. Sareth watched from the bridge of luminous drift as human ships moved like silver arrows above the new home. UNS Resolute, UNS Caliban, and a dozen smaller vessels formed a careful grid. Their hulls were not graceful, they were built to work. Valari children pressed their faces, or equivalent sensory organs, against viewports. Those are human ships, one whispered. They look angry. On Resolute's bridge, Commander Maya Darcy looked at the arriving Valari fleet. Traffic control, keep them spread, she said. No clumping. They're used to huddling. We're going to give them some breathing space. Her pilot grinned. Harrow might give them fire instead of space one day, he said. Maya's face was flat. If Harrow comes here, she said, Harrow burns with them. The first human teams down on the planet were not soldiers. They were builders. They moved with purpose, unloading modular structures from drop barges, habitat shells, power hubs, water processing units. Within hours, gray soil became dotted with white domes and rising towers. Valari workers watched in amazement. They don't rest, one muttered as humans and exosuits welded, drilled, and assembled. They do, another corrected. Just not now. Maya walked with Sareth across the rough ground, their boots sinking slightly in the dust. This will be Haven 1, she said, pointing at the valley below. Main city and command center. Layers of defense. Above ground for daily life, below ground for bad days. Sareth's eyes were wet. You build so fast, he said. We would still be arguing about foundation shape. Maya smiled. Oh, don't worry, she said. We argue too. We just learned to argue and build at the same time. They reached a place where a tall tower frame rose. This? Sareth asked. Shield generator, Maya said. Atmospheric and energy. When fully powered, it can redirect orbital fire at least for a while. Sareth shivered. So if Harrow returns, he said, we do not simply stand naked under their guns. No, Maya said. We stand behind a very grumpy umbrella and shoot back. Deeper under the surface, human engineers and Valari technicians worked together carving tunnels and vaults. Singh wiped sweat from his forehead as he watched a huge drill churn rock into dust. Section Gamma will be your deep shelter, he told a group of Valari planners. Food storage. Medical. Command redundancies. Enough space to ride out a siege. A Valari elder frowned. You build like you expect to lose the sky, she said. Singh shrugged. It's not about expecting to lose, he said. It's about refusing to die if you do. He pointed at a separate tunnel. That one is for hangars, he said. When your young pilots are ready, they'll have ships waiting below ground. Not easy targets above. The elder's eyes softened. You plan for our children to fight, she said. Singh met her gaze. We plan for them to have the option, he said. Choice is part of shelter too. In orbit, silent bombers stalked empty space. You wouldn't know it by looking. They were black wedges drifting near the gas giant's shadow, running cold. Only carefully tuned human sensors and Argus eyes knew where they were. Inside Silent Bomber Shade 3, pilot Layla Grant floated in low-G watching minimal displays. Nothing yet, her weapons officer muttered. Layla smiled thinly. If we do our jobs right, she said, nothing will happen here for a long time. And if we do them wrong? He asked. Her smile faded. Then the quiet ends very loud, she said. Argus' distant presence murmured in her ear. Don't worry, it said. You will get your loud moment. Harrow is not known for restraint. Layla sighed. Yeah, she said. I figured. Weeks became months. Haven 1 grew. Greenhouses sprouted under artificial light. Schools opened. Valari children played in low gravity with human kids of the first rotation crews. Sareth walked through a new market street, listening to the mixed voices. It felt almost like a real city. Not a camp. Not a ship. A home. He met Maya near the central plaza where a sculpture was being built, an arc of metal and stone, Valari and human hands carved into it. It's working, he said. Maya nodded. It's a start, she said. Shelter is more than walls. She looked up into the cloudy sky. But walls matter too. She touched her wrist calm. Argus, she said. Status? Argus' voice came from her earpiece. Haven defenses at 60% planned capacity, it said. Valari militia training ahead of schedule. Silent bombers in position. No Harrow signatures detected. Yet. Maya exhaled. We're not ready for a full fleet, she said. If they come now. We improvise, Argus said. Your species excels at that. Maya smiled without humor. Let's hope we don't have to prove it that hard, she said. In the void far beyond Kepler 79G, a Harrow scout ship watched FTL echoes fade. It turned, engines flaring. The signal it sent back to the Dominion was simple. Valari survivors located. New world. Human presence confirmed. Harrow read it. Harrow smiled. And somewhere deep in Haven 1's bedrock, the air seemed to grow colder as if the planet itself understood. The storm that burned Valahome was coming. This time it would hit something that wasn't running. The Harrow Dominion's capital world was a web of black towers under a red star. In the throne hall of the Dominion Spire, Warlord Khal Drass sat on a seat of fused metal and bone. His armor gleamed darkly. His eyes glowed with implanted fire. A scout captain knelt before him. Speak, Drass said. We have found them, the captain said. Valari survivors. A new world. They are under human protection. The word was strange in his mouth. Humans, Drass repeated, tasting it. The little noisemakers from the fringe. He waved a hand. A hollow appeared, Kepler 79G with orbital tracks showing human ships. They build fortresses, Drass said. Defend others. How noble. His sarcasm dripped. Another officer, tall and scarred, spoke. Our analysts say humans have some skill, she said. Unusual tactics. Adaptive war. But their numbers are small. Their territory thin. They cannot stand against a full Dominion armada. Drass smiled slowly. Then we will take this chance, he said. We not only finish Valari, we also cut a new upstart down to size. A lesson for the Council and others. He stood, cloak dragging behind him like darkness. Prepare Strike Armada 9, he said. We go to break their haven. News of Harrow's movement reached the Galactic Council quickly. In the council chamber, delegates watched icons of red move across a star map. Harrow is sending a full armada into human-claimed space, the AI said. Target appears to be System Kepler 79G. Meili's light dimmed. They aim for the Valari and the humans both, she said. Two birds. Krax's scales rippled. Earth invited this, he said. They chose to shelter a hunted people. Now they will face the cost. Lethran's hands trembled. They do not know how large Harrow can come, he said. We did not have time to tell them. Vereen floated in thought. We could warn them, she said. Krax snorted. They will detect the fleet themselves, he said. They have AIs and stealth toys. Let them show us what their haven really means. Meili spoke softly. We also could send a peace fleet, she said. Stand between Harrow and Haven. Show them the Council will not tolerate this. Krax laughed bitterly. And risk open war with Harrow? He said. We are not ready. Our people will not accept it. Vereen's light dimmed. So we watch, she said. She hated the word. Has watched other worlds burn. This time, something in her hoped it would end differently. At Haven 1, the first warning came as a whisper in Maya's ear. Argus to all command, the AI said. Deep-range sensors show multiple FTL blooms. Pattern consistent with major Harrow fleet. Estimate, 1 armada. Arrival in System Edge, 19 hours. Maya's heart sped up. 19 hours, she repeated. Is that enough? Sareth asked, standing beside her in the command dome. Maya exhaled. It's what we have, she said. We'll make it enough. She raised her voice. All units, she said into the comm net. This is Commander Darcy. Harrow's coming. This is not a drill. We moved to Haven Protocol Red. Across the world in its orbit, systems woke. Shield generators spun up. Drone bays opened. Militia alarms rang. Valari workers dropped tools and grabbed rifles. Human engineers locked down systems and ran to ready positions. In deep shadow, silent bombers shifted, aligning to new vectors. In a bunker beneath Haven 1, Sareth faced a crowd of Valari citizens. They looked at him with fear, and something else now. Expectation. They murdered our world, Sareth said. We ran. We begged. We nearly broke. He gestured around. Here we stopped running, he said. We found allies who did more than give us a corner to die quietly. They built walls. They taught us to fight behind them. He took a breath. Harrow is coming to make sure we stay erased, he said. We will not let them. His voice steadied. We will not be quiet, Ash, he said. We will be stone that breaks their teeth. There was a murmur. Yes, someone whispered. Sareth nodded. You have trained, he said. You know the shelters. You know your positions. Remember this, humans are not our saviors. They are our partners. We stand with them, not behind them. In orbital control, Maya listened. A faint smile touched her lips. Not bad, Coordinator, she murmured. Hours passed like seconds. On the edge of the system, space twisted. The Harrow Armada arrived. More ships than humans had ever seen in one place. Massive spear-shaped battleships. Wide, flat carriers. Spike-covered escorts. Their hulls glowed with cruel red light. On Shade 3, Layla watched them appear. Big boys, her weapons man muttered. Layla felt fear punch her chest. She pressed it down. Argus, she said. Confirmation? Argus' voice came like calm thunder. Confirmed, it said. Harrow Strike Armada 9. Full war posture. We are outnumbered. Layla grinned despite the tension. Story of our life, she said. Correct, Argus replied. In the Harrow flagship Blood Crown, Warlord Kaldras stood before his viewing screen. Kepler 79G was a tiny dot ahead. Signal the human system, he said. Announce our presence. A comm officer nodded. A message strobed across space. To the human commanders of System Kepler 79G, you shelter our prey. Surrender the Valari to us. Power down your defenses. Withdraw from the world. Do this and we will leave your planet mostly intact. Refuse and we burn your haven to bedrock. In Haven Command, Maya listened to the translation. Mostly intact, she said. Very generous. Sareth shivered. They think we are an object to be handed over, he said. Maya's eyes were like ice. They think wrong, she said. She opened a channel. Her face appeared on Blood Crown's screen. I am Commander Maya Darcy, she said. United Earth Stellar Command. This system is under Joint Human-Valari Defense Agreement. We do not surrender our people. Dras smiled, slow and amused. You stand there with your small fleet and your new walls, he said. Do you believe you can hold against us? Maya didn't blink. No, she said. Dras tilted his head, briefly thrown. No, he repeated. Maya's smile was sharp. We're not planning to hold, she said. We're planning to make your victory so painful you will choke on it for a century. She cut the channel. Dras' amusement faded. Very well, he said. Let us see how their shelter burns. He raised a hand. Advance, he said. All ships. They moved. Harrow had never been stopped by begging. They had never met humans sheltering someone they liked. The battle for Haven did not start with a grand clash. It started with math. Argus flooded human and Valari systems with updated vectors. Remember, the AI said calmly over command channels, our goal is not a clean win. Our goal is survival with maximum Harrow pain. Maya nodded tightly. All fortress platforms, she ordered. Fire only when you have confirmed kill shots. No heroic waste. Every shot counts. The Valari gunners had trained on simulators for months. Now their hands shook as real targets filled their scopes. Sareth put a hand on one gunner's shoulder. Breathe, he said. You are not alone. The first Harrow wave was a screen of smaller cruisers and drones. They rushed ahead, weapons stabbing at long range, testing defenses. Haven's outer satellites flared. Rings of defensive drones, built by human and Valari engineers, woke and moved in tight patterns, forming shifting walls. The sky lit up. Beams. Slugs. Explosions. An outer ring platform died, breaking apart into glowing scraps. Another held, shrugging off hits behind human-built shields. Outer shell at 80%, Singh reported. We're losing nodes but the pattern holds. Maya watched red icons push inward. Harrow weapons calibrated on fixed targets, Argus noted. Adjusting our movement. Rotating shields. Their efficiency drops by 29%. Good, Maya said. Make them chase ghosts here too. When the Harrow line tried to focus fire on a gap, a cluster of human-built gunsats swiveled and spat microscopic shrapnel clouds into their path. The Harrow ships plowed through, shields taking the brunt, but their forward sensors flickered with static. Who fights with dust? One Harrow captain snarled. Humans apparently. Dust, junk, repurposed rock. Everything became a weapon. Builders had set traps in orbit like miners setting charges in a tunnel. As the Harrow formation pushed further, silent bombers finally moved. Layla's Shade 3 woke from cold drift. Argus, she said, target packets confirmed? Confirmed, Argus replied. Harrow rearline refuelers. Long-range comm hubs. Reserve munitions ships. They are outside current fire focus. They feel safe. Layla grinned. Let's fix that, she said. Silent bombers used a tricky trick. Microjumps inside a system, something most navies avoided due to precision risks. Humans didn't avoid risky. They perfected it. Shade 3 and her sister ships blinked. One moment they were hidden near the gas giant's shadow. The next they appeared far behind the Harrow armada, drives already hot, weapons armed. They did not call warnings. They did not announce. They simply fired. Dense rods, wrapped in distortion fields, streaked toward thin-skinned logistics ships. Harrow's refuelers vaporized. Ammo carriers detonated in chain reactions. Far behind the front, ships that had not yet fired a shot broke apart. On Blood Crown's bridge, alarms screamed. Rear line hit, someone shouted. Massive losses. Unknown attackers. Drass world. Where did they come from? He demanded. Unknown, his sensor officer cried. They appear, fire, vanish, no clear FTL trail, no standard signature. Silent bombers blinked again. Fire. Fade. This was Earth's pattern. Commanders to shape the field. Builders to make every inch of space fight back. Silent bombers to cut the enemy's spine. Harrow tried to adapt. They shifted formations, redirected escorts backward, fired blind into the dark where bombers might be. They did not like fighting an enemy they could not see. On the council ring, watching the delayed feeds, Vereen whispered, "So that is what humans send when you ask for shelter." Melee pulsed with a mix of fear and awe. They turned a refugee plea into a war plan, she said. Krax's scales were pale. They hit logistics first, he muttered. Always logistics. They fight like they expect to lose so they make the enemy lose faster. The front line came closer. Now Harrow battleships stood within main gun range of Haven's inner defenses. Maya watched their energy spikes. Here comes the real punch, she said. Shields at maximum, Singh reported. Deep shelters sealed. Everyone who isn't fighting is below ground. Sarah stood beside Maya. I should be with my people, he said. You are, Maya said. Right here. The first Harrow main volley struck. Beams like solid light smashed into the city shields. The shield domes rippled, screamed but held. Ground shook. Buildings trembled. In deep bunkers, children cried and were held tight. Shields at 60%, Singh reported. We can take maybe 3 more hits like that before failure. Then we don't take 3, Maya said. We hit back. Human and Valari guns roared. Rail slugs and beam lances speared the leading Harrow battleships. One exploded when a slug punched through a reactor node. Another staggered as a barrage of Valari plasma chewed at its hull, finished by a human lance. Look at them fall, a young Valari gunner breathed. Saratha's hands were tight. We never saw Harrow bleed before, he whispered. You'll see more, Maya said quietly. But Harrow had numbers. For every ship they lost, more pressed forward. Inner defense grid at 50%, Argus warned. We are reaching attrition limits. Maya's mouth was dry. Silent bombers? She asked. Still reducing their support, Argus said. But frontline mass remains high. Full destruction not possible with current assets. Sarath turned to Maya. If we survive this, he said, it will be because you made them bleed enough to stop, not because we broke them. Maya nodded. That's how we win most fights, she said. Not with pretty clean victories. With ugly draws the other side can't stomach. At last Harrow's advance slowed. Fuel was low. Ammo stocks were damaged. Long-range coordination was shaky with so many comm hubs gone. Drask glared at the tactical map. His fleet still had more ships than the Haven defenders. But each step forward cost him more than he'd expected. His advisors whispered. "We can break them if we push," one said. "Then what?" another countered. "We hold a shattered Haven with a shattered armada? Other powers will move. Even the Council might scent weakness." Drask thought of the Council watching. Of other empires, quiet enemies taking notes. Of stories spreading. Harrow lost half an armada trying to crush one human Valari Haven. He snarled. "This is not over," he growled. But his claws flexed on the rail. "Signal pullback," he said at last. "Order, disengage." The word tasted like rot. His officers obeyed. One by one Harrow ships turned, engines flaring for exit vectors. In Haven control, Maya watched red icons peel away. "They're leaving," Singh said, disbelief in his voice. Saratha's knees shook. We held," he whispered. Maya exhaled hard. "No," she said. "We made them hurt until they didn't want more." Argus' tone was gentle for once. "Strategic victory achieved," it said. "Haven 1 survives. Harrow's aura of invincibility is cracked across multiple info nets." Maya sagged into a chair. "Damage?" she asked. "Severe to orbital grid," Argus said. "Moderate to surface infrastructure. Casualties, heavy but not extermination level. You did well." Sarath looked at Maya. "You sheltered us," he said. "Not by hiding us but by standing in front with teeth and claws." Maya smiled faintly. "That's what we do," she said. "Bad guys don't stop because you cry. They stop when bleeding becomes more expensive than mercy." Saratha's eyes glowed. "I think," he said slowly, "the galaxy has misunderstood what shelter can mean." Part 6, Shockwaves in the Stars. The battle for Haven 1 became legend faster than light. Even before official reports arrived, snippets of footage spread. Harrow ships burning, human bombers appearing from nowhere, Valari gunners cheering. In pirate bars and market stalls, on cold stations and warm domes, people talked. "You hear?" a miner said. Harrow tried to finish the Valari. Humans were waiting. "They beat Harrow?" a merchant gasped. "Not beat," the miner said, "but made them pull back. Half an armada gone or limping. Harrow's warlord had to retreat. First time in centuries." "Because of Earth?" the merchant asked. "Because Harrow forgot Earth shelters with knives," the miner replied. In the Galactic Council chamber the mood was strange. The holo showed Harrow losses. Haven damage. Harrow retreat vectors. Krax's jaw was clenched. "Harrow took heavy damage," he said. "They will rebuild. They will remember. Earth has made them an enemy." Lethran spoke. "They already were one," he said. "Valahome burned long before humans stepped in." Melee's light shifted with unease. "They did not do this just for Valari," she said. "They did it to send a message. To Harrow. To us." Vereen nodded slowly. "Yes," she said. "And the message is simple. If you hunt refugees, you may find humans waiting." Krax sneered. "Now every desperate species will beg to be under Earth's wing," he said. "They will build their own havens. They will destabilize our careful order." Melee pulsed brighter. "Maybe our order needed destabilizing," she said. "We left Valahome to die. We told ourselves we couldn't risk Harrow's anger. Now we watch as humans do what we were too afraid to try." Vereen looked at the Haven 1 image, a scarred but living world, shield towers glowing. She spoke quietly. "Earth showed us something," she said. "Refuge can mean weakness. Or it can mean fortified resistance. They chose the second." The Council AI added data. "Surveys show increased voluntary migration toward human-held havens," it said. "Refugee species trust Earth to defend them more than they trust the Council." That stung. Krax slammed a fist. "We cannot allow humans to become the sole guardians of the desperate," he said. "That gives them moral power as well as military power." Melee whispered, "Then perhaps, we should join them." Silence. Vereen's light brightened. "What do you propose?" she asked. Melee's tone was soft but steady. "A Haven Accord," she said. "A council-backed code. Any world offering shelter can call on others for defense. Humans clearly intend to stand in that role. We could stand with them instead of pretending it is not happening." Krax scoffed. "And tie our fleets to their mad tactics?" he said. "Turn our ships into bombers lurking in shadows?" Lethran smiled faintly. Or learn from them, he said. Become something better than what we are now. Vereen considered. She had seen too many worlds burned while the council argued. She had watched Valahome die on recorded feed. She pictured a different recording. Harrow ships breaking off, human bombers cutting supply lines, a refugee world living. She made a decision. I will invite Earth to co-write the accord, she said. In public. Let the galaxy see. Gasp. Are you mad? Krax hissed. Maybe, Vereen said. Or maybe I am tired of being afraid only of change. It is time we made the bullies afraid of something else. In Haven One's repaired command center, Maya listened to the council's offer. Rhea's face appeared on the holoscreen from Earth. They want us to draft refugee defense rules with them, he said. Shared patrols. Shared shelters. Shared responsibility. Maya raised an eyebrow. Because we embarrassed them? She asked. Rhea smiled wryly. Because we did the thing they told themselves was impossible, he said. And because they're smart enough to know if they fight us over it, they'll only look worse. Argus spoke. This gives us leverage, it said. We can shape how future havens are built. Make our style of shelter a pattern. Sareth watched from the side. Would you spread this? He asked. Not just for us? Maya looked at him. We didn't come here to build one pretty fortress and leave, she said. We came to prove a point. She nodded. Tell the council yes, she said to Reyes. We'll help write their accord. But we won't soften it to make empires comfortable. Reyes' grin sharpened. Wouldn't dream of it, he said. A year later, the Haven Accord was signed in orbit above a different world, a once-conquered planet that now had its own fortress city, built with Earth's help. The ceremony was broadcast across the spiral. Vereen and Maya stood side by side. Vereen spoke first. Today we admit a hard truth, she said. We, the Council, failed many who cried for shelter. We spoke of stability while worlds burned. Others stepped into the role we abandoned. She glanced at Maya. We will not let pride stop us from learning, she said. From now on, any species that offers haven to refugees may call on us for aid. And any empire that hunts those havens will find not just one world, but many standing against them. Maya stepped up. She wore no medals. Just a simple uniform and a small patch showing Earth and Haven One's new symbol intertwined. For humans, she said, shelter was never just a roof. It was always locks, walls, and someone staying up late with a bat in their hand, listening for trouble. Some translators had to work hard on that one. She continued. We will help build more havens, she said. Sometimes we will send planners. Sometimes we will send engineers. Sometimes we will send ships that don't officially exist. Her eyes flicked to the camera. And sometimes, she said softly, when someone thinks refugees are easy prey, they will find commanders, builders, and silent bombers waiting in the dark. Years passed. Haven One's scars healed. Valari children grew up under its shields, learning to walk in heavy boots and run in light gravity. They learned human languages alongside their own. They learned history, theirs and Earth's. In a school carved into a cliff, a young Valari named Tali asked her teacher, "Why did the humans help us?" The teacher, a half-Valari, half-human woman named Lena, smiled. "Because we asked," she said. "And because our enemy was the kind they can't stand." "Why?" Tali pressed. Lena thought. "On Earth," she said, "there is a long story of people with power hurting those without. For land. For pride. For nothing. Humans remember what it's like to be trampled. Some choose to trample next. Some." She looked out the window at the shining shield tower. "Decide to punch back for the ones on the ground. Not everyone liked the new order. The Harrow Dominion rebuilt its fleets. Behind closed doors, Warlord Drass raged. They made us retreat," he snarled. "They humiliated us with tricks. We will not let this stand." His counselors were cautious. "Even now, some of our captains flinch when they hear the word haven," one said. "They remember the bombers. The dark. The fuel lines going bright." "Then we change the stories," Drass said. "We strike a haven so hard it dies. We show the galaxy that humans cannot protect everyone." He pointed at a map. "Here," he said. "A new haven. Early stage. We hit swift and leave. Before Earth can respond." He did not notice a small icon move on the edge of his holo. An innocent sensor glitch. Or so it seemed. Argus watched from far away. It had threads through council nets, Harrow commerce, pirate gossip. It saw Drass' plan. It whispered to Earth. Reyes listened. "They never learn," he said. Maya watched the same map from Haven One, now as senior commander of Haven operations. They learn, she said. They just don't accept lessons they don't like. Argus light shimmered in the command dome. What do we send? It asked. Diplomats? Builders? Maya's smile was cold. We send a small package, she said. Commanders to coordinate. Builders to shore up defenses. And she looked at Sareth, now older, his patterns rich again. And some of our quiet friends, she finished. Sareth nodded. We will send fighters from Haven 1 too, he said. We are not only receivers anymore. We are givers. At the New Haven world, Shard 3, a rocky, jagged planet, the alarm sounded just as Harrow's ships slid into the system. But this time Harrow did not find an unready target. They found human and Valari command posts already set. They found half-built but functional shield arrays. They found silent bombers already drifting in the dark, having arrived days earlier by deep jumps. They found a trap waiting again. It was smaller than Haven 1, less polished, but the pattern was the same. Harrow advanced. Space answered. After the fight, shorter this time, harder for Harrow, easier for defenders, a single Harrow cruiser limped away. Its captain watched his hull bleed air and sparks. He sent a message back to Drass. We attacked a Haven. Humans and their allies were ready. Losses heavy. Recommend, cease direct attacks on Havens. They are never alone. Drass read it. He crushed the message unit in his fist. But he did not send another armada. The cost was too high for pride alone. The idea spread. If you are hunted, a traitor said somewhere, go to a Haven. If they let you in, Harrow and others will think twice before coming. Because of the council? His companion asked. The traitor snorted. Because of humanity, he said. And the friends who stand with them now. Council helps, yes. But the first to show up are often ships with no names. They clinked cups. Above their heads, in a different part of the galaxy, a black wedge-shaped ship drifted in silent guard, engines cold, eyes awake. In a small gathering hall on Haven 1, Maya and Sareth stood by the great Ark monument. It now held names carved into it, human and Valari and others from later Havens. People who had died in shelters that refused to be easy prey. We changed a lot, Sareth said quietly. Maya nodded. You built something with us, she said. Not just walls. A reputation. Sareth's patterns glowed softly. Do you ever fear, he asked, that humans will go too far? That one day you will stop defending and start conquering with these Havens as excuses? Maya was honest. Every day, she said. We have that in us too. So do you? So does everyone. She looked at the names. That's why we write things like the Haven Accord, she said. Why we invite people like Vereen and Melee into planning. Why we let Valari and others sit on our command councils. She smiled slightly. Why Argus watches us as much as it watches Harrow. Argus, listening, pulsed in her implant. True, it said. I am annoyingly ethical now. Sareth chuckled softly. So the apex predators grow a conscience, he said. Maya looked up at the sky. You can be apex and still choose who you bare your teeth at, she said. Power isn't evil by itself. It's what you do when someone begs you for shelter that defines you. She nodded toward the monument. They asked, she said. We answered. Not with tents and speeches, but with commanders, builders and silent bombers. Sareth traced a name with his fingers. And the galaxy? He asked. What does it call you now? Maya shrugged. Depends on who you ask, she said. To Harrow we're a nightmare. To some on the council a headache. To pirates bad news. To refugees. She looked at him. To refugees, she said softly, we're the ones who make the hunters hesitate. Above Haven 1 ships moved, human, Valari and others forming patterns of shared defense. At the very edge of sensor range, far from any normal patrol line, a few small dark shapes drifted. They were not on any official map. They left no bright trails. They were silent. Waiting. Watching. The next time someone looked at a weak world and saw only prey, they would remember stories. Of Haven 1. Of Shard 3. Of bombers that came from nowhere and logistics that turned to flame. They would think of a simple phrase. We begged humanity for shelter. And they sent commanders, builders, and silent bombers. And for many that thought alone would be enough to change their path.